And good afternoon, sir. Professor Yashpal sir is with here, and I have the opportunity, and we have the opportunity, our respectable Professor Yashpal sir with us. He's had a very vast experience in the field of digital media, social media, SAP, and he's also trainer in the various university. Not only in the university, he's also corporate trainer in the field of the SAP, and he trained on regular basis to various engineering students as well as management students and as well as various other professional courses students, and he gave the training to teachers also time to time during the faculty development programs. So we welcome to you, sir. And now I hand over to our assistant professor English, Mr. Mihir Kumar, Mihir Seth, for the detailed introduction, sir.
Thank you, sir. Welcome, viewers. Welcome in the series of webinar in our Parul universities. Today, we have a chief guest, Mr. Yashpal Sharma, who is a Master of Engineering from BITS Pilani in Systems and Information with 27 plus years of distinguished experience as a CIO with blue chip corporate in India and abroad. Currently working in a Director Digital Business Transformation for Digital India, MEITY, the Government of India. And he is also responsible for driving a digital journey to Government of Rajasthan. Sir is responsible for alignment of IT strategy with business strategy, information technology and systems, IT shared services, information security, ERP implementation, business process and re-engineering and IT risk management. Also, sir is having the capacity building, learning development, etc. Sir has traveled globally on the professional assignments. Sir also has excellent experience in space of Oracle, apps 12.0.1, Microsoft Dynamics in 2009, implementation with experience in manufacturing, the utilities, cement, chemicals, services and R&D companies in India, UK and Australia. Yashpal sir is also a member of CIO Associated in India, alumni of BITS, Pilani, IIM, and Ahmedabad and Lucknow. He worked with the Intex Technologies, India Limited, New Delhi, Khaitan Groups of Industries, Kolkata, Dalmia Cement, which is located in Bharat, also known as a Bharat Limited, Chennai, Everest Industries, New Delhi, Secure Meters Limited, Secure Meters Limited with a Small Industries Corporation Limited, which is in a Jaipur, Baton, Rogue, which is international, California, USA, Indo Bazaar LLC, which is located in New Jersey, USA, and various capacities. If I would talk more about sir, it would take 1 more hour is also or less, which he has achieved in his life. I won't take much time, sir, and welcoming you to joining in a series of webinars, sir. Welcome you, sir. Stage is yours, sir.
So I
Thank you very
request to
much.
you,
Yeah, sure.
Professor Yashpal sir, please deliver your lecture on the today webinar topic, impact of social media on political campaign. So I again welcome you, sir.
Thank you very much for that nice introduction. Yesterday, when I got a call from Dr. Rawat that he want me to deliver some lecture on social media platform, and that too should not be a pure technical, but a combo of technical and business area, so that the students who are in Parul University probably can take some triggers that how can they start if they wish to start or build a career in social media industry also. So to start with, let me give you an analogy or a small story because I built some thoughts last night what to deliver. And this is about looking around the social media platforms, looking around the physical area in which we are living on the opportunity part of it, where we actually face unrealistic situations and we need to learn and we need to unlearn how to adopt the new way of living. Today we are doing it from the perspective of COVID-19, the new way of learning. And what webinar we are doing is again a part of new way of learning. So this story goes like this. There were two washermen, and these two washermen, they had two donkeys, and both these guys, they were good friends. So they used to go to the riverside just to wash their clothes on the weekend. Both were good friends, so because these washermen good friends, so these donkeys will also became good friend among themselves. This continued for almost 2 to 3 months of time, and suddenly one fine day, these donkeys, they used to share their good things and bad things about their life, the way the washerman friends they were sharing among themselves. So one donkey was very happy, and he used to praise his boss that this guy is giving me food on time. He takes care of me. I'm happy with him. But unfortunately, the other donkey, he always used to curse his washerman that this guy is not taking care of me, and he always curses me, doesn't give me food on time. And this continued over a period of another 6 months. Suddenly, one fine day, both these washermen, when they were doing washing of their clothes, the donkey who was happy, he asked to the another donkey, he was not happy with his master. He said that I have been listening this nonsense from you from last almost a year's time. Why don't you leave? You have a good opportunity here now. You can run away because you are not happy with your master, and you have been saying this to me from last almost 1 year. He said, no, I won't leave my master. The other donkey got surprised, and he said, why don't you want to leave your master since you are not happy? He says that I still see opportunity with my master. And listening this, the other donkey got shocked. He says that you have been craving him and you still see opportunity with him. This donkey said, yes, I have opportunity. And the opportunity goes like this. When my master takes me back to home, and when once he reaches home and he sees his daughter fighting, making noises, not obeying the requests or orders of mother and father, he used to say that, please behave yourself, otherwise I'll marry you with this donkey. So the moral of the story is, you can see opportunities anywhere and everywhere in life. It depends upon the temperament and vision of an individual, how to catch them. And whenever you come out of your house, you will see all these opportunities here and there. Now, how I want to link this story with the today's era of social media. Let me take you again to your Baroda city, where you guys probably might be going to the parks or small parks in your locality. And when you go to the park, maybe for a morning walk or maybe for a small chat with your friends, you might have seen that a lot of small groups are visible in the parks. Now, what these guys are doing, it is actually the like-minded people who come together and discuss on a particular topic. They contribute. Somebody might be benefiting out of that. Somebody who is not interested or not enjoying that, they may be away from these community groups. So not only in Baroda, the same type of community groups or in parks, probably you might have seen or you will see in the whole India level cities, even in villages also. In villages, you have a different type of environment. And these community parks, they are actually formed in the form of a chapal. The chapal usually, and some people, the senior people of village sit together. they make some good decisions or bad decisions about that village. And after a lot of deliberations and discussions, everybody either agrees or they disagree with that. So the point here is, even before social media, at least in India, we have a culture and way of living. This is a way of living actually in India, starting from villages to the largest villages. Now, if we see the pan-India presence, I started with Baroda. Baroda, you use a dialect in Gujarati language. The moment you move to south, down south, here you will probably use a dialect Tamil or maybe Malayalam. Now, as long as we are doing this in different cities, it is fine. But if you want to communicate somebody, can the Tamil guys understand Gujarati? The answer is a big no. And vice versa is also equally true. The problem is that whatever in this language, for that you might have heard, or if you have not heard, probably you might have read at least somewhere a term called as artificial intelligence. Now, this is an area which will probably very soon will remove this hurdle of translating the language. Because one way of learning Tamil is I need to attend some course, I have to go somewhere, learn Tamil, and then speak Tamil and Gujarati both at one moment of time. Now, if it is one language or two language, it is fine. But a country like India, where every 15 kilometer language changes, it is difficult. So now this is the first example how technology is going to solve this problem. You might be speaking maybe from your small park near your vicinity, and if you want to convert that to Tamil, to Telugu, to Gujarati, to Assamia, all these different language, it can be translated dialect, that is Gujarati. Now this is the impact which you will see in social media and how people are using it in bringing things in their favor. Now in the physical environment, we see these as hurdles. But if we go to the social media, these are not the hurdles anymore now. Now let us first try to understand what social media is and why it is important, and how political campaigns, because Dr. Rawat wanted me to speak very fresh. So today elections are happening in US and some parts of India also. So how these different political parties use social media to convert the voters in their favor, and what is the strategy normally. On that, let us try to understand what social media is. It is actually a platform on which you collaborate people, you bring people together, maybe like-minded or unlike-minded, and you disseminate your thought process. Two things might happen. If somebody is in sync with your thought process, he will come closer to you, and you will make a group smaller, then larger, then medium, and then larger. And ultimately, it will leave the boundaries from Gujarat to Rajasthan to Tamil Nadu to India to Europe to UK. So that means now, instead of communicating from your small park situated in Baroda, you are connecting to the entire world. Now physically this is not possible, and that is what the power of social media is. Let's talk about a very simple example of Facebook. I am 100% sure that all of you are having your presence on Facebook. Now what exactly is Facebook? If somebody thinks that I have 1,000 friends, I'm happy. You are happy. It is Mr. Zuckerberg who is also equally happy, because the number of friends you are adding, you are increasing the communication channel to multiple people on this platform. So Facebook is neither a website, Facebook is neither a portal on which you can make transaction. Facebook is nothing but a community platform. What I mean by community platform is, it is bringing different set of people on one single platform. And compare this with your park in your local city of Baroda. and see the difference, the way you are connecting with the world by using a social media platform called as Facebook, and compare it with a place from where you were sitting and delivering something from the park. That is what the technology has removed. That means all the boundaries are removed now. You don't have limitation that I will only get connected to local Baroda people. Whosoever is interested in your talk, like the way we are talking, I don't even know, you don't even know from where you guys are sitting, where I am sitting. So this is again one of the greatest example of actually connecting with people. So Facebook is a community platform which allows multiple countries, multiple places to come on one single platform and disseminate the knowledge process among themselves. How this platform can be used by political parties, will deliberate on this. But in addition to this, is it enough? Big no, because it may happen that some of you may get bored from Facebook and may have switched only to say Instagram. And if you don't even like Instagram, you might have your presence only on Twitter, or you might have presence on none of these platforms, but you like better than this, say for example WeChat. Now you don't even know. So one way of looking at it is, I have my presence on all these social media platforms. For video transmission, video calls, I'll use WhatsApp or WeChat. For seeing the video content and making my own videos, I'll use YouTube. For making small statement, like you may make a statement now also, hashtag watching something on, watching a webinar on impact of social media. So likewise, everybody now has a freedom to use the social media platform the way you want. Right? Now, how the political parties are now using this platform in their favor. If you try to assess this, and you can assess this with the business companies also, how businesses are using it. Because there is no foundation that why only political parties or why only business houses should use a social platform. It is open to everybody. Everybody and anybody can use it. It depends upon an individual and requirement. What is that individual? Restrict my discussion only on the usage by the political parties. If you really see what is happening in US as of now, today you are seeing, probably must be watching or going through the newses in the social media, or maybe the newspapers you might be reading. Mr. Trump is doing a lot of campaigning, and his opposition, Mr. Biden, is also doing the lot of campaigning. Now compare that with what is happening in India. India also a lot of campaigning is happening, especially to Bihar, and in some time it will start in West Bengal. Now, if you really see the nature of campaigning, more or less it is same. What Mr. Trump is preaching to people, he will have or maybe it is some new promises. He may be regretting on certain things which he might have missed. He might be making certain new comments on H-1B visa. He might be saying something on COVID. Now, if you really see the commonalities between what Mr. Trump is doing in US and what the other political parties are doing in India. Now, one way is, in India, if you really see the topological area, it is from length to breadth. If you see, it is very difficult to cover the entire stage. Since now, only the elections are happening in Bihar, it is easy. But think of a situation where Lok Sabha elections are happening. Now those parties who will have presence and will make impact and will reach to different segments and will make certain voices in favor or maybe in interest of that particular region, then only you will be excited and you will be excited to vote. For example, in India, if X party, and I am making a disclaimer, I am not related to any party, neither BJP or nor Congress. I am just following that, and based on that, what these guys are doing, I am just making analogy and analysis how these political parties are using social media. So if you really see the social media presence of BJP, it is humongous. There is no doubt about that. It may be because of Mr. Modi, or it may be because of the IT cell that is being constituted by BJP to make sure that the presence is on all these platforms. Just 2 minutes back, I said that it is not possible that I may be on only on Facebook. I don't have any interest on Facebook, so I might be on LinkedIn. Now, when I am LinkedIn, I have my different interests. When I am YouTube, I have different interests. When I have different interests. When I'm on WeChat, I have my different interests. So all these political parties, they need to determine who will hold governmental positions. They need to maintain public control over the government. They need to re-legitimize the system and the regime. That means when these guys, they make their manifesto, the manifesto should have a sugar-coated certain things, because if you really see, if in India or even in abroad also, whatever Shwet Patra or manifesto you release, there is no guarantee that these will be fulfilled. But this is my personal experience, or when I followed the social media and other things, it is not about delivering the promises that you have committed. Winning election is a different ball game. It is probably reaching to the last mile at the earliest and making an impact on that person or a lady or a student or maybe the language. If you really see the way Mr. Modi is presenting himself, when he go to West Bengal, he uses the local dialect. If he goes to Assam, he uses the local dialect. If you really see the BJP campaign management, every second day, whatever is happening in the country by government or by the state government, you will see the footfall on all these social platforms. And when these social platforms, even if one of you see, it is actually making an impact. And all these things are being registered. On all these platforms, you will also see different type of comments. Somebody in favor, somebody in against, and sometimes you see obscene comments also. So all these political parties, they based on their interaction and their reach to the last mile, to the last person sitting in village, they collect all this data, do analysis, and use a new technology called as big data analysis. And based on that, if the negative comments are there, they try to do introspection. If positive comments are there, they keep all this data within themselves, that this is going to be the prospective vote bank of my party. If say they are doing, if they are getting response on a particular event, say 1 lakh responses have come. Out of 1 lakh responses, probably 50,000 responses are in favor of that party, and 50,000 responses are not in favor of the party. Now the good thing here is all the political parties, they come to know in advance if their social media strategy is defined on paper and they are very clear what is that they want to achieve. Now, imagine if these social platforms, none of these parties are using. What will happen? You won't even know what somebody is talking about them. You won't even capture the feedback of Baroda people about X party and Y party. But if you have a presence on social media, both the political parties will have a data that the girls in the age of 15 to 25, this is the opinion of the girls on X party and Y party. The opinion of the people who are from 50 plus to 80, this is the opinion on a particular issue. This is the opinion of these gentlemen on party. This is the opinion on the leader. So they have a data set now. The problem in social media is how do you get the real data set? When I say real data set, that means concrete data set. Today, you find a lot of garbage also on the internet. Now this garbage probably will create a lot of problem, and on this garbage, you just cannot take any decision. So what the political parties do is they collect this data ahead of elections. Whether I make a manifesto, whether I release the manifesto or not, they try to understand the swing of the nation. What is the nation looking at? Like today, if you really see on COVID, people have different perspectives. I may have a perspective that government is not doing anything, but somebody might have a perspective that no, the government is actually monitoring this. The data that is being showcased by government is correct. The decisions and the actions taken by different state governments and the state government are good. This could be my way of viewing it. But if you talk to somebody, or many of you might be having different views, you may question on the data that is being forecasted. You may question on probably the way the governments are handling the COVID issues. You may be asking a question when the actual lockdown is required now. It was not required some. All these are the individual's perception, political parties. It tend to make once they make up their mind. So the social media platform, all these platforms, what they do is collect all these type. Based on this, they act, and based on the massaging of this, or we need to focus more on Gujarat, or we need to probably focus more on Kerala, or we may not need to attempt anything and do something in a state like Mizoram. So this is the power of social media, because all these data, when they have a presence on all these social media platforms, the data is there, whether good or bad. You may like, unfortunately, there is no option or caption of dislike on a social media platform. So this is how the social media platform by the BJP or the National Party of India. Now coming back to the Congress Party, who is again a leading party in India. Now if you try to compare the social media presence of Congress Party, I'm not saying that they are behind, but probably if you see the response time or the turnaround time, how they are attacking, how they are grabbing, and how they are responding, that's where the impact comes. If you really, and I suggest most of you should analyze the impact of both the parties on all the social media platforms, where at least you are registered. You will find that the response given by X party is far ahead than Y party, and that is what is actually required in social media. If I take, just now I heard a news on, while doing this conversation, I just got a trigger that in Mumbai, one building got a fire and some 3,500 people were evacuated. This is the power of social media. So all these political parties, they try to understand behavioral analysis. It is called as the behavioral analytics of an individual person, then in group, then in male, female, then in typology. All this data is being collected, and they also try to understand the social media strategy of the opposition party. I was trying to compare the social media strategy of the Congress party, the leading party, and the BJP. It is clearly evident that BJP is far ahead as far as political campaigns and social media campaigns in all the respect. Now, this needs to be introspected. In last 1.5 months, probably you might have seen Congress on every party. Now, whether I'm not even saying whether it is good or bad, what BJP is doing good or what Congress is doing good, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the way they use social media is they actually try to understand analytics of an individual person. They need to create a strong branding, and the strong branding happens by having a strong presence on the social media platforms. To give you another analogy, you may have a question, is not a right source of connecting with people. Yes, it is. But how many of us really watch television? Probably very less. Or when we watch, probably we may watch only the programs you 4 hours. You don't have time just to watch probably some bhashan given by one of the political leader. All these feeds actually come on social media platforms where if that news is of interest to you, probably you get fascinated and you register that. And if it is not liked by you, you reject it. So both the political parties, they use it very effectively. The one who will make a big brand a bigger exercise. Now, if you really see how many times both these parties or even the regional parties have made their promises or fulfilled the promises, it is not. It is not the game. The game is how do you impact or how do you connect to the customer. When I say customer, the common national individual of the country. I may have certain reservations on BJP. I may have certain my personal observations on a Congress party. It doesn't matter. The point here is, if you really the product, see product as BJP, see Congress party as a product. Now, which product is actually making a convincing argument which helps a individual to bring them to the electoral booth is more important. Consider this as the various type of probably advertisement campaigns that happen on. If you really see the advertisement of one of the face creams like Imami and all, if I apply Imami cream or Lux cream, I'll become my skin will become whitish. Does it become whitish, or do you make decisions based on these advertisements on the paper? The answer is no. You don't make such decisions. The decisions are actually made on your gut feel, what you feel about that. And that is why a strong brand is to be created. This brand can be only one channel. Or probably you must have seen all these advertisements on TV also. But TV probably you are reaching to a very less number of people. The impact of social media, you are reaching crores of people in one go. Probably last week, Mr. Narendra Modi came and made some statement. Now you may choose to say, what different he has said. He has not said anything different, but he has registered care for the country. The same thing can be done by Congress also. So it is a opportunity that needs to be encashed to convert your manifesto into a winning part. Whosoever on all media will win in this game. Now let's UK step. The way the elections are run in US is entirely different over here. But one thing is common there also. The entire office of Mr. Trump is using social media very effectively in comparison to his opponent. Now, it might be possible that the opponent probably might be having some good manifesto, he might be having some logical arguments, he might be making some good schemes for United States. It may be in the favor of United States nationals. It may be probably providing new jobs in next 3 to 4 months of time. But does it really matter? It doesn't matter. Because if you are not reaching to the masses, the whole strategy is I will do that, it doesn't matter. So even if Mr. Trump is not making this, but one thing is clearly visible that Mr. Trump is ahead as far as social media is concerned. He may be saying, talking a lot of nonsense things, doesn't matter. The point here is, am I connecting to the last mile? Am I a product? If I am a good product, whether I deliver or I don't deliver, people will accept me. If I am a good product, but if I am not delivering, if I am not making an impact on the last mile to the individual, it will not work. And there are various stories which are happening in the product management also in our real life. You see Nokia, it has been a good company. It is excellent company. The devices of Nokia were excellent, super, not even even better Android devices of various different companies. But what went wrong? In spite of having a good product, it vanished. The same way, the political parties, I may be having a good political circle. Probably all my candidates are good. They might be having clean image. They might be. They might be. These might be the guys who will probably fulfill their promises. They are connected well within their vicinity. But are you, in order to win elections, this is not enough. You need to reach to the masses. And if you are not reaching to the masses, right or wrong, you will not be able to convert the voters, bring the voters to the polling booth, and ultimately make sure that they actually vote in your favor. That is the power of a social media. There are certain examples in United States. You might have heard a term incumbency. Still people win. How do they win? If you really see, since World War II, I have taken from Wikipedia just before this session. Since World War II, 92% elections were successful. I might not have done anything, doesn't matter. But the way I am connecting with people, the way I am dealing people, I'm collecting their voice. What is that these guys are looking at? That is what is being captured, and I take decisions based on that. On certain items, people used to keep mum. On certain items, people used to make all hue and cry. Now, again, I'm coming back to India and give you a very nice example. Some in India propagate good or have. Yes, I have not read it. I am making an opinion based on the people who are saying about that bill. Some people say that it is in the favor of farmers because ultimately a farmer will get the right MSP of his whatever he grows. Is it right or wrong? I don't know. Because I am not a direct affected party on that. So there is a social media team of both these parties who connect directly with farmers. If you really go and talk to farmers in villages, you will find different type of views. Now, the agenda is a bill. The agenda is a bill for the benefit of the farmer. Whether the farmer is benefited or not benefited, that is where the important. Now, how to propagate that I have brought a bill which is in the favor of farmers. One way of doing, probably some 10 years ago, people used to do what governments used to do. They used to pass a bill and probably the draft of that bill, the actual bill comes in the hands of the people some 6 months in future. Today it is not like that. The bill was passed and it is very much there in the social media platforms. You might be saying good or bad, that is a different thing. But the impact that is being made by a political party is, I have brought a bill. I'll give 10,000 arguments in favor of that bill. The opposition party might give some 20,000 arguments in negate of that bill. Now, whosoever does it fast will make impact. Of a social media platform. So that means a lot of research is being happened. Individual's profile. Sometimes you might have heard, or probably in Bihar also you can do this analysis, that in spite of having a bad image of an individual person, how these individual wins. It is not about a bad image or a good image. It is the perception, or it is the content that is being disseminated to the people at the right time to the right person. I am a good guy. You may be a good guy. But if you are really attached with a political party and if you really want to win election, it is not about good or bad. It is about, of course, goodwill. Probably you may think it is good, but what is the guarantee that the other person will think that? So you need to do a marketing of yourself, and that your future media. And there's a new term called as fusion marketing. The fusion marketing near future. You might not have heard this. Some of you might have heard this term also. At its peak, social media is also not enough nowadays. So the new term that will probably replace the social media, which is nothing but a fusion marketing. Now, what does fusion marketing do? It is actually a combination of multiple things. It is a combination of social media. It is a combination of your local parks in Baroda, where some five people sit in a group and make opinion about something. It is about the newspaper. What it is in the so you. The point is the party who has maximum around the things were not converted. But this platform. See that five made certain manifesto, they came in power. How many of you really do analysis whether they have fulfilled the promises or not? No or yes. Don't know. Sometimes I give thousands of argument in favor of a company. You might give thousands of argument in negate of that company. How does it matter? Ultimately, if I am convinced, if an individual is convinced by a political party on the agenda being driven by them, the job is done. So, in nutshell, what happens here is on social media platform, all the political parties they need to, and they have been doing it in India, not only in India, but in US also, in UK also, in Europe also. That means they are showcasing themselves as a product. That if you come with product one, these are probably assessed from you. You are using product two, these are the things which you are going to miss. So, media platform, all these political parties, the goal is to win. If they are only using newspaper print, they will not be able to connect with people. And practically, it is not possible also. Now, I am giving you another perspective. Think of the local elections where councillors are elected. Now, the answer is social. Does it matter to me sitting in Jaipur or you sitting in Baroda? No. If it is a local election, I will use it different way. I am a product, but I am a product. I will be restricting myself, my content to local person. The moment I be my Punjab in Trivandrum, whatever you are selling in Kashmir may not Kumari. So these political parties, when they are making a product of themselves, they need to make sure that on a social media platform, on Twitter, what is that I have to run? I will not run my bill campaign on Twitter. But what is being done by the Prime Minister, I'll keep on running that. Prime Minister did this. Now the opposition similarly decided, whenever a tweet from the X party comes, I'll retweet that. I'll negate that. Now if and by the tweeters which I made, you will see sometimes you see the trolling also on the Twitter. There are certain things posted on Twitter, and you see the individual is trolled on that, but still he becomes a popular person. It may be good or bad, it doesn't matter. The point here is suddenly in the evening you'll get a news that Kangana Ranaut has become probably a celebrity for that particular day. Or I as an individual become celebrity for that day. You might have seen a lot of videos like that. Some exercise is happening or some bungee jumping is happening, and suddenly that becomes a popular. So all these political parties, they make themselves as a product and they try to sell it so that it reaches to the masses, and an individual, even if he is not making a decision in my favor, he will still think this party may be bad. So the goal of these parties is to win the election. In order to win the election, they need to create themselves as a product on the social media platforms. The various social media platforms we have already discussed, they use that in bringing the end voters in their favor. You might have seen certain images, also different type of images. If you really see the various media platforms, especially the television media, Aaj Tak runs certain campaigns. They make certain things. Sometimes they will show a fight with the Prime Minister of right? Impact. But the in the area also, ultimately at the right time is important. If will positioning public, or if I'm positioning the new vaccine of COVID is going to come in next 7 days, if will it reach to the masses? The answer. I choose to say that LinkedIn is a very fantastic platform. Yes, it is a platform, but it is meant for something else. You will make impact. There are people on LinkedIn, but LinkedIn platform is mainly for professional relationship. But the same thing, if you do it on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, you will have a larger reach and you will be able to make an impact on people. So all these parties probably they hire people. You will find big teams behind all these political parties just to make sure that things which are not in their favor needs to be converted into that favor. Then a lot of market research has to be done on social media platform. What a user, what a voter is thinking, what probably local party, political party is thinking, what within the party my association is thinking. And other parties, they have a cadre till the grassroots level. If I'm making one decision, first of all, I have to be make sure that whether my cadre is accepting this decision or not. Are they convinced that whatever I'm doing, it is in the favor of people? Sometimes it is not in the favor of the people. So that means from center to the grassroots level, a chain of communication has to be done by all these individual parties just to make sure that they speak and align with the party line. You might have heard this term party line. So again, a lot of research within the party has to be done just to make sure that everybody speak the language which actually the party is looking at in order to make sure that people come to decide on that product. Then again, this is a two-way campaign within party and outside party. How do you assess the likely voters? Sometimes you need to persuade voters. Also, sometimes cannot groups, say Gujarat, Rajasthan, and probably down south Goa. They are combined together. Congress party comes. This is what we are going to do in next election. Similarly, BJP comes. This is what we are going to do in next 3 months. Now, ultimately, is it really workable? Is it really workable? Is it going to be? So all these things needs to be assessed. I would say that without a strategy, none of the political parties in today's area can survive and win elections. And it is not only practically important to India, but it is also important to US, UK, because they also understand each country what is also US, and that is how we communicate. With this, again, I want to wrap up with a small advice to you. My suggestion to you is please follow up social media. You don't to be a techie to make a career in social media platforms. You just need to follow certain things, what is happening in all these platforms, and develop your area of interest. And maybe you can devise someday. You may be a advisor to the strategy for BJP or Congress or to the local party. This can be done without a school degree or a college degree. The only thing is you need to the phone or have.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And this topic is not in short. We can explain. We can elaborate this topic 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, and 4 day. And doesn't matter, sir, because I already attend a lot of the FTVs with you, and you are habitual to continue 3 hours and 4 hours. But sir, we have the lot of viewers with us. Questions from their side, and I'm like in social issues of the social media and what kind of the ethics need to follow in social media, and what is your opinion, sir? So
See,
is put your opinion and the views on that.
see,
As
every
for
good
the viewers.
understood is a very good question, and it is important because you will see, or you might have seen, or some of us have also faced a lot of issues as far as the misuse of social media is concerned. Although in India or in even in all different countries, we have a on that 2000 amended certain social is how do you understand or how do you rely on the authenticity of the comment somebody made. Somebody makes a comment today. Let's say that Trump is going to win. Statement. Now this is not going to affect anybody. Take a statement or and somebody answer is, now in data set, are you really working on right data set? When I say data set, do you have a data set of all the students in Parul University who are interested in Instagram? I'm not very sure you have this data. You might be having some 20,000 odd students. Do you have a data set of people or all the students who are interested in actually having burger on Domino's? Do you have a data set of people who want to pursue their career in US or within one university in US or within a X university in UK? You don't have, and that is the beauty of a social media. That is why I've used the term fusion. Probably 3 to 4 years of time by usage of NLP, machine language, artificial, every years for probably that yes, if I'm posting certain things on internet, I need to be very, very careful because a lot of fake profiles are there on internet. So whenever you make friends on Facebook, whenever you're connecting somebody on Instagram, when you're connecting somebody on WhatsApp group, today law is also there. When you're throwing, like COVID times also, we have seen the misuse of throwing data here and there, and people have been arrested because of that. The only thing is you need to care about that because I feel that security is a journey, it is not a destination. If you think that I'm going to lock my profile, I'm going to access the data of somebody, there are people around you who are ready to take your data. It is not your friend, it is the companies, political parties, everybody who's on social media platforms in order to increase the customer base. They have to do this. So my only suggestion to your students is just to make sure that be very careful, don't accept unknown requests. Make sure that you are talking to the right persons. Don't forward unwanted things. And still, if you have issue, you can refer to IT Act. You can Google it, and you can download a copy of that. And it is very clearly written that if some obscene message is sent to somebody, you can sue them and take them to the IT. And it is.
And sir, what about the hate speech is uploaded on Facebook and past few days, and some party people uploaded the hate speech, and they also create the pressure on the Facebook officers. So regarding this, sir, if you want to say.
See, it is not a new thing. Same thing used to happen in our colonies also. Again, I take back to the society. When we are living in the society, these things are social media. The only thing in India is we are a democratic country. You make a may not think anybody. When back only statement was done, is it right? I'm not person to make judgment which I as a what I will do as per the ethics. People are going to I will give 2,000. Idea is how many of us are really rather how many of them are actually equipped media. I'm not saying that things but it is going to take more time. But the 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 way the social media adopt yes, our
We can also set segment of English. Please also have some questions from the viewer side. So I am asking to ask one or two questions, and after that I will be concluding remark and other things.
sure, sure.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Yes.
Sir, just I would like to ask one question. Since morning, in the BJP, sir, party who's naturally is in existing and powerfully
Again, it is a debatable point. Since I made this disclaimer earlier also, I don't belong to BJP nor Congress, but it is a very interesting question that you have raised. Facebook has, this is not the first time Facebook is questioned. If you really see in the last US election, people made allegations on Facebook that the US president of US. The same thing is so much. It is all about the hits in media. Now, if I have more presence, I am more aggressive, rather 4 times aggressive than my opposition. Definitely, the opposition tend to think that Facebook is favoring X person, Y person, or Z person. Whether because cannot do that. But it may look to the position that yes, Facebook is supporting X party or Y party or Z party. Technology, is it possible? The answer is yes. But legally, is it to be done? The answer is a big no. It is again a debate. What are the ethics? And this debate is without social media. These things you must have seen in your locality also. If somebody is not having ethics, he may do anything. But if somebody is following ethics and if he's doing it aggressively, you might tend to say that he is no favor. There is no yes.
yes, sir, it's showing, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And sir, what about the violence against the women, which is media platform right now? So how social media is safe for them?
It is not the social media who's making a platform. I said that if you are thinking now, everybody, and you don't have to be a IT guy to post something on internet.
Yes.
I feel that I've been to donkeys, and I find it interesting. I do. So my view is, I think lot of awareness campaign is definitely required. Even in our houses also, I am doing as a to early budget is posted. Sometimes I post my photograph. Have been also only the agent is way and I would say.
I agree, sir.
Uh, and other and incident is related from the advantage and disadvantage, and give the awareness and all these things you told in. They really appreciate, and we get benefit from your speech and thought. We want people to notice my request. So I really appreciate